Welcome back to our podcast. Welcome.
Dun, 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 dun.
Welcome to the RBC podcast. I'm here with
Caramel.
Lydia.
And yeah, I'm happy to see you guys again. It's been a while.
Maliya, you don't look like you
When you
missed us.
say a while, it's like literally been a week. It's giving up stress.
I missed you guys.
Oh,
what have you been
babe.
up to?
I mean, girl, a lot has been going on, but I've been following up with this Hilda's cookathon thing. It's crazy.
I went there yesterday.
It's
I went
crazy.
there.
Crowd was insane.
Oh my gosh. And I love how Nigerians are very supportive.
Yes.
They come out in, they came out in numbers.
They're still
for
there.
Hilda.
And
I
they're
feel
still there.
like
crazy.
Hilda, if you're ever watching this, we just want to let you know how proud we are of you.
Yes,
And
very proud.
There's something that like struck me. Basically, you know when like you're entering your adult life and you're looking for a profession and depending on your parents, they always want you to do something professional, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people, including myself, that maybe not cooking, but maybe they wanted to make furniture or they wanted to make like soap or fragrances.
Yeah.
And parents are just so hard on them and they're like, no, you must do something more professional.
Professional.
But I feel like Hilda is such a good example that, you know, whatever you're going to do, just be
Good at
Passionate
it.
about
just be
it.
good at, just be passionate about it and like just watch where it will take you. So like this is so encouraging for women,
And
for
inspiring.
black
Very
women,
inspiring,
So
guys.
all over the world.
inspiring.
Like said thank you for putting us on the map and just
Yeah.
good. She's still going on as we speak.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you, Hilda.
Yeah,
Shout out to
crazy. Good job.
Hilda. So today we're talking about luxury living.
Dun, 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 dun.
Do you think you live a very luxurious life, Lydia?
I feel like I live an
Luxurious
average
living.
life. I feel like I live. I feel like I
Caramel,
live
do you think you live a
She
luxurious
didn't
life?
answer now.
What
She
about
was
you?
saying that she lives. Yes,
She said
my,
she
my
thinks she
dear.
doesn't.
I said I
Oh,
live
yeah.
a decent life.
Which
But
is low.
luxury is subjective anyway. So what is, I don't know, what is luxurious to the next person can not be luxurious to, to
Yeah,
you.
fair.
So
Do you feel like you live a luxurious life?
I don't know if it's a luxurious life, but generally, I feel like it's a comfortable life. And
Yeah.
you know what's crazy? Luxury is comfort to me. So,
period.
Rah.
no,
Do you know my
but for
favorite
real
thing
though.
about rich people? They're just like, I'm not rich. I'm just comfortable.
Why are you?
I'm not
What's
wealthy.
with
We're-
it?
Yeah, I
we're
rarely
living
see rich
okay.
people
I
say
don't
they're
know.
rich.
Of course, they have that humility.
Yeah, I don't have your strength today. Let me never lie to you. But for real though, to me, luxury is comfort, and yeah, that's like very important for me. Comfort is very important for me. So.
And I feel like comfort is a luxury because, like, whether or not we want to accept this, there are people going about their daily lives with no comfort. Like, their job doesn't provide them any comfort. Their means of transportation is not comfortable.
Yeah.
Their daily lives are just not comfortable. So I feel like, you know, comfort can be a luxury to many people, which is
Yeah.
rather unfortunate. That which
100%.
standard of living was better for us in this country, but that's the reality of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's not the same type of comfort Caramel is talking about.
Please, what
But
kind
I'm
of
not
com-
sure.
Tell
I'm
me
not
what
saying-
tell me,
first.
How
tell
much
me.
is that your necklace?
Can you allow me?
But how much is your
breathe?
necklace? I think I've seen it before. But like just
Why are you
just want-
stressing me
Yeah.
out? Why are you putting me on the spot?
comfort. Luxury is comfort to me. I just want to be comfortable with like
Yeah, I
how
will
much
show you
shade-
sugar. I will show you sugar.
Cut the cameras.
But yeah, but this is a VCA.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of that. I only see it on the internet.
you know, I hate Lydia
I actually
so much.
see it on the internet. This
I hate
type of
that.
thing.
She's so annoying
It's
because
because
this
of
girl has
Caramel,
a
I
whole
get to
full
see.
VCA bracelet.
I get to see it.
What?
Where?
See, a whole Rolex, please. A whole Rolex.
So today,
Fake flex. You are so annoying.
how many people know it's fake? I can't
It's not
afford
fake,
the
it's not
real
fake, it's
one.
not fake,
So
she's
we
lying.
have to don't like. I'm trying to confuse
Maliya
my
is so
enemies.
quiet over here. It's
I'm
like, what's going
observing.
on? Observing what?
The madness.
Wait. There's something I just remembered now. Right? Obviously, I cannot ask Caramel, a big girl, like, come on,
Stop
this
it.
question.
Lydia, hit the
But-
nail on the head right now.
I should hit the nail on the head.
Yeah,
Wait,
ask
that's the
Maliya.
saying. Wait, that's the saying. Hit the nail on the head.
Come
Okay,
back.
so were you on Twitter when this person asked, was it a girl that tweeted, or someone should tweeted something about, oh, you want to spoil me with 10K, just keep the money or something like that. And like people were coming for her, like my heart earned 10K, something. And then that's what I just remembered, because you know how I said luxury is subjective. Like 10K can be so like a thoughtful gesture and can mean a lot to somebody. But like obviously if you send someone like Caramel 10K, she can withdraw it and use that slap your face.
Yeah.
I don't like how you keep
But, like,
using me as scapegoat. It's so annoying.
No, I'm just speaking facts, man.
But no, okay, so
Yeah.
let me tell you my take on that now. generally, there's no money that is small. Money is very important. Money, you don't know what people need. Like, small things go a long way, right?
Yeah.
But my problem now is when you make it look like, oh my gosh, it's such a big deal. Like, you start to cook up before you send it. It's like saying, oh, I'm going to spoil you. I'm going to make you go crazy.
I'm going to shake
you. And then you just drop 10K. It's like you took my
So
expectations
if there was no
high.
hype, if there was no hype before sending the 10K, then it's not as
It's
Yeah, it would
disappointing.
have just been a
humble.
thoughtful
It's humble. It's like,
gesture.
thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm happy. I'm okay.
No.
But when you now, start to hype
so like
up
someone sends you
everything.
10K like without like the hype up, right? You appreciate it. And be
Yeah,
like,
I
thank-
will. Because my expectations are not
No.
crazy.
No.
Do you understand?
What do you
Maliya,
think?
what do you think?
No, I think no, don't do that.
Don't do
Okay.
that.
The first time, something,
Share,
something
share,
that has
share
actually
us
happened
on.
to me
You
once,
say God.
and it was like maybe 3-4 years ago or something.
But
Or maybe,
you
I
were
think
jumping
3.
up and down.
No, I wasn't jumping.
What were you doing?
Girl.
What were you doing?
So someone sent me. I was in school at the time. Someone sent me 5K, and I told my mom.
Oh, for keke?
I don't even know what it was meant for. But I told my mom.
School in Nigeria, you need
I
keke
was
money.
like, "What's this supposed to be? Is it a test or something?"
Are you
And my mom
testing
was
me?
like, "Oh, it's so sweet. I appreciate it." I was like, "No, I'm not going to. It's a test, and I'm not going to pass." Because you're clearly trying to get something out of me. Like, to be very honest, if you can process in your brain, like, you look at me and you feel like I need 5K and you send me 5K.
I feel like that's another
it's
angle.
a test.
That's another
I'm
angle.
sorry. It's
Okay,
like you're
so
trying
still-
to push my
but
button.
men-
still,
some men-
You want to know if I'll be humble and say thank
no,
you.
No,
That's how it
still,
feels.
That's
no,
how it
Maliya,
feels.
That's how it feels.
Okay, that's how it feels.
Yes.
But I feel like appreciation goes a long way.
No,
Do you understand?
not when you send me
They don't
5K.
send
No,
you.
Maliya,
They don't
do
send you.
something with
Wait,
the
can
5K.
Can I say something?
And I'll appreciate that.
Can I? Let me
See
tell you
that?
something.
But
Let me tell you something.
God.
Wait, this is honestly what I think that a lot of girls that I've spoken to share the same thoughts as Maliya. Is that, and I think I don't think I've been in a position like this before, but I think I would feel the same way in the sense that you decided in your head that you wanted to give me money for whatever reason. You know how
Whatever reason,
men,
I didn't ask you.
like, if you're a girl, you've probably been in a situation like this. Men often just decide to send you money. Maybe it's to prove a point, be a nice
whatever.
gesture, impress you, whatever. They want to say, and they think you don't want to show me your good character. You don't want to show me your other strengths. You decide to do it with money. No problem. You're doing it with money. And you now do something stupid, like send me a stupid amount.
like 5K or 10K. It's
God,
weird.
I'm
What do you want me
chuckling,
to
I'm
tell you?
laughing.
Thank you?
No, I'll tell you things. I have to tell you thank you, but then I'll be like,
I
send
will
your
talk to you
accounts
again. I'll
back.
run away. Because like this is how it's going to
Because the
be.
thing is that
It's going to be test after test after test. I don't have that
I don't
energy.
even have that.
Yes, it's a
like,
test.
I
As far
don't
as I'm
even know if
concerned.
it's a test or not.
It's a test.
The way I see it is that
10,000.
wait,
You
do
know
I
what I
look
can
like I
do
need
to
10,000?
somebody?
But what can
on
10,000
the
I do to
streets?
me? What can they give it to somebody on the streets? Am I on the streets? Like, am I on the streets?
Maybe after you say thank you, Caramel. Maybe you get
Wait,
2K. You get 2K next.
No.
Just
Wait
to
now.
spice things
No,
up.
I get what you mean. I get what you
She's living
mean.
in Nollywood. That they
No,
say,
no, no.
wow.
No,
you
no, I
appreciated this
get what
10K?
you guys mean 100%, right? But what I'm saying is like
Yeah.
you really don't know. See, somebody it's not the person might never be trying to impress you or anything.
Then what are you
so-
trying to do? Because he's disappointing me. So now
No,
he's hurting my
Caramel,
I just
feelings.
want
You know,
to
Caramel,
appreciate
you know that-
what
you know
I
that-
have
Don't
now.
do that.
This is what he had. Let me just say. So
You would have given me 5 naira now. You would have given me 5
do you know
naira.
the thing? Do you know where he messed up? Do you know where he messed up? By thinking that it was money he was going to use and impress me.
Yes,
Knowing
can't you
that
have
he
other
didn't have
things?
money.
Can't you
Knowing
have
that
other
he didn't
things?
have money.
Save the 10K. Let's go out
Do
somewhere.
you
Plan
know
something.
what would have been cute? Use the 10K and give it
Plan
to a beggar.
something.
Give it to a beggar. Like, I'm telling you, I will be like, wow, this an empathetic person. This is such a wow.
CEO.
Look at this type of thing.
Jay-Z.
But then you come and give me the 10K.
Jay-Z.
That she's
Do you
kind
know
of-
Jay-Z? Do you
I'm
know?
about to sound so pompous right now.
Lydia,
What's
wait.
taking this from
Let me tell you what. Let me tell you real life now. Do you know?
I've been talking
Let
about
me tell you real
fake
life.
life.
Do you know how much a pack of Nestle water is? Oh, do you know how much a pack of
Oh my
a pack
God,
of
I have
water
a
is?
dispenser. I don't know these things.
Do you know how much a pack of water is? Yeah, a pack of water
So you
is
want to give me
currently
pack of
wait.
water?
A pack of water is currently 2K to 1.8.
So I look
Do you understand?
dehydrated.
Multiply
Caramel.
that now. That's a pack of water. A pack of water
Caramel.
that has 24.
Caramel.
Let me land
Context,
now,
context.
Maliya. Let me land, Maliya.
My name is Lydia.
Sorry. Let me learn, Lydia.
right now.
A pack of water has about what 24 bottles inside. That's how much 1/8. Multiply that by how much you can get for 10K.
Cut the cameras.
So you buy
I'm
plenty
telling
packs
you,
of water now.
No.
I'd rather you do that. Okay, let me tell you something.
Look.
Bring packs of water then.
Do you understand?
I feel like
that
10K is weird.
I feel like that's the thing. I feel like it's because of the way you're looking at the money. It's like this 10K.
Oh
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10. That's it. That's finished.
No.
But look, think about the little things you can actually do with the 10K.
No, it's not about what I can do. I don't need your money to do anything. Let's start there. Also,
There's nothing little I can do with 10K that I've not already done.
I'm looking
Nobody said you don't already
I'm
have
looking
10K.
at intent. So there was one time that I was a bit younger, but there was one time that I'm blushing. There was this guy that was trying to speak to me one time. I was still in uni, and I remember saying that I liked malt, right? And like they were clowning me, like who drinks malt, but I love malt so much, right? So there was this time he was coming over to see me. Oh God, blushing, seriously. There was this time he was coming over to see me, and he wanted to bring me malt after laughing about the whole malt thing. He didn't know which one I liked, so he bought like every brand of malt that he saw. So he came to my house with like a whole bag of different. That was cute, and that gesture was probably less than 10K. That's cute.
That's a
thoughtful.
gesture.
That's intentional.
Yes, it's
There's so many-
intentional.
it's not about the money you spend. It's about the
Exactly.
thoughts and intent behind it. Why are you giving me 10K?
Okay, so let me rephrase that for you. Let's say you're complaining, or maybe not complaining though. You're like, oh, I need to get XYZ thing. It's something little. For instance, okay, let's say airtime. Okay. You just I just ran out of airtime. XYZ, please.
What
can
are you using to tell him that you need the airtime?
Wait now, I'm giving
Sorry.
an instance. You just ran out of airtime. Just an example.
Yeah.
If airtime XYZ says that, okay, sends you 10K.
And no, that that's
Now you've acknowledged that 10K is
We
useful.
clearly agree to
right?
disagree.
10K is always going to be useful.
We clearly agree to
Yes,
disagree.
that's what I'm
But
trying
saying
to
that
say.
is not a means of impressing me.
Yeah,
You
there
cannot
are
impress-
different
but, like,
things.
there's
That's
different
what I'm trying.
intentions.
We're kind of
understand
saying
what
the
you're
same. Do you
saying.
understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You don't make it look like, okay, well, everybody has their own perspective, but you can't just call 10K useless. Do you understand?
Not
When did I call
necessarily.
it useless?
Okay,
Not necessarily.
well, the way you implied now, it's
Let me
like,
tell you what
go
I
give it to a
implied.
beggar.
What I
Yeah.
implied
I said that you
is
cannot use
it's
it
a
to
test.
impress me.
I feel like
Okay.
it's a
This
test.
baby and her test.
It's a test. I'm sorry, but it's true. You know who 10K is useful to. It's not me. It's a test.
If you want to do something
Why-
romantic, if you want to
Do you get-
impress me. Don't impress
Don't
me
try
with
to test me. I don't have time for games. I'm busy.
Period.
Okay,
Sorry.
so
Period.
Carry on, oh, carry on, oh, carry on, oh.
So Sha, that was how they insulted that girl on Twitter that day. Oh, my dear, if you're listening to this anyway, you are.
What did they tell her? They told her
They told her all sorts of things. You know, how people on Twitter.
that
talk-
what 10K was too small, or
They told her that she was ungrateful and girls are entitled, XYZ, and that is why I go back to the basics. Stop trying to impress girls with money that you don't have.
yeah.
Impress them with your character. Impress them with your skills. Back in the day, they used to dance under the
Your
rain.
rays.
Like they used to bring like what are the
Yeah.
name? The things, the box thing.
brain
No.
box? No, it's not a brain box. It's a
Rain
radio,
box?
radio
They
something.
used to impress girls with different things. Men were fly. Now it's all about the money. Got some
Gosh.
swag. This is embarrassing.
Oh my god.
oh my
so
god.
annoying.
I feel you. I understand that.
But
Mm-hmm.
But what, Lydia?
okay, back to the topic of like luxury.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, as we've like spoken so far, we can tell like not everybody can afford luxury, but somehow you go out in Lagos and everybody has like a VCA bracelet on or carrying a Chanel bag. Some are even bold enough to carry Birkins, and we're just well aware of the fact that we don't all make that amount of money. We all can't afford these things. But how come luxury items are so rampant? They're just everywhere. They're not as scarce as they're supposed to be. Luxury is like,
Quote unquote luxury.
Luxury.
Let me first remind you of the city that you're living in. That's Lagos,
have you
Nigeria.
ever been to Lagos? Have you been?
Have you ever been to Lagos, dude? Everybody.
So what are you trying to say?
That in Lagos, yeah, what you're carrying, what you're wearing, kind of defines what's in your pocket. That's Lagos for you. So you have to look the part. They could call it packaging, they could call it fake life, but you kind of have to look the part. Do you understand?
In order to fit in,
in order to fit in, in order to get respected, in order to, be treated differently, you have to look the part. Do you understand? So it's kind of long if you don't look the part and you're not trying to prove that you are.
You're supposed to be
Do you
there.
understand? You're supposed to be there. It's long. Do you understand?
So our standards, Abi, the way people
In
treat
the standards that
It's not-
Lagosians have
I'm
set
not new to
are
this.
giving superficial. It's superficial.
So how do you feel about people that wear fakes then?
because
Lydia.
it is
Because they're trying to meet up
Fuck
with
off.
this.
Lydia.
They're trying to meet
Fuck
up.
off.
Because they're trying to meet up with these standards.
I'm definitely
with their own
empathetic.
means.
I definitely sympathize. I understand what it's like to want to fit in so much that you have to go
And get a fake.
and get a fake. However, throw that fake back away today. It's not worth it. It doesn't define you. What the things you carry. The things you carry.
Father Bernard.
The things you carry. Are you okay? The things you carry, the things you own should never define you.
Yeah.
You should value like other traits. And if you don't have anything that you value and see in yourself, go and build. Those things should never define you. And to an extent, apart from having permits me say low self-worth, low self-esteem, and a lot of men, especially
So are you
men
saying-
more than women, their worth is in their what they have around them, what they have on their wrist. So that should never define you. One, a lot of these guys that their wrists are iced out, like they cannot speak English, they know how they acquired that wealth. That's aside, build yourself. But to an extent, I think it's a loju kokoro. Because I've spoken to people, I'm like, not that I'll ever call a person out and say your bag is fake, but I've spoken to people about carrying dupes and they're like, they just like the style. They like how the Bottega bag, Zara makes bags like that. H&M makes bags like that. You don't have to buy a fake bag, a bag that is literally saying Bottega on it and is not supposed, you don't need to do that. If you like the style so much, get something of similar style. Get an authentic H&M bag. What's the name of that? Charles and Keith, Michael Kors, even though that is also luxury. Depending on what you can afford. I think you're just it's a logic kokoro. That's just
Over
what
to
it
you,
is.
Malia. What's your
That's
take
just
on
what it
that?
is.
How do you feel?
So I feel like what she said makes sense. The only thing I don't really understand about the idea, because personally, I don't really care for luxury items so much. I'm very indifferent about them because I care for style more than I care about how much what you're wearing is. You can be wearing all the expensive things in the world,
But if
and
you
I
don't look
like
good, you
someone
don't
else's
look good.
style more than yours, and I will notice them in the room before I do you. And that is how I perceive myself as well. I care more about my style than how much everything is. So sometimes I could buy something luxurious. I could buy something that is just, normal priced. And I could even go as low as getting thrift sometimes. Like, I really don't care. As
Yeah.
long as I like how it looks, I'll get it. I don't really support the idea of going for dupes. But what scares me sometimes, I feel like the shaming of people that buy dupes is a bit weird. I don't
How
think people...
so?
I don't think people should be shamed for buying dupes. At the same time, I don't think they should be glorified either. They're not getting
So what
glorified.
should- what should
They're
happen
getting
to them?
shamed. They should just be allowed to live their life with their dupes and just
With their
go about their
fakes?
lives.
Do you know?
With their
do
fake,
you know?
drop that fake bag
do you know-
today.
What is it about people that buy?
Do you know? Do you know?
Can
my-
I-
do you know?
can
my-
I-
do you know?
Can
Do you
I
know?
ask a question?
Yes.
Do you know?
Can I ask
Do you
a
know my
question,
issue?
Caramel? What is
Okay.
it about people that buy dupes that triggers you?
Auntie, may I? Auntie.
Wait.
What is it about
Okay,
it?
so the luxury brands
Yeah.
is a community, right? People have spent their whole lives building their collections, saving towards like buying their first Chanel bag, buying their first. Every other girl, myself, I started off with an Alma BB, went on to this. Like, do you understand? Like,
Yeah.
it's a thing of like pride. You're part of a community. It's just something special about it. This is in me no way trying to like shame or telling you to go and do past yourself to acquire these things, but like, it's just
It's
a
a
bit
community.
disrespectful to the community and the people that work so hard for these items. And like, if you like them so much, buy something similar, or don't just admire them. Like, I cannot afford a Birkin, right? I do not even think I want to buy from all these resellers, these personal shoppers. It's ridiculous. The process is long, but I will never carry a fake Birkin. I will forever be on TikTok watching these old money babies with their different colors of Birkins and Kellys until I manifest this one day and it comes, falls on my lap. But it's ridiculous to think that I would go out of my way and buy a fake one because
So
I feel
someone
like
enters the room right now with a fake Birkin.
I will notice it
and like,
from the door.
and they're sitting next to you.
they don't have to sit next to me from the door.
You don't want them to sit next to you.
Not that I don't want them to sit next to me. What's wrong with this girl? What's wrong with this
I
girl?
really want to understand, because how I feel about it is, you're explaining how them buying dupes is like unnecessary. You could just relax and wait till it's your turn, wait till you have the
Yes.
money. But I feel like that's not what happens in reality. In reality, people that buy original,
Maliya, say it. In reality, it's Oju Kokoro.
I don't know
Say
what Jukokoro is.
It means your eyes.
Your eyes chicken.
Okay,
yeah.
But I feel like in reality, the people that are triggered by people who buy dupes are the people that buy originals.
Yeah.
And most times I start wondering, like, why does it trigger you? Is it
She
because
already-
you care
she
about
already
the brand?
explained that.
That's what I'm saying. Is it because you care about the brand, or because it's peppering you that you bought the original and this person is just
Why is
going
it
around
even?
with the fake?
Peppering is not
That's
the word.
such a messed up thing.
No, because I always wonder which one is it.
No,
because
no,
how
no,
much
no.
do you care
Let me
about
tell you. Let me
these
tell you. Let me tell you
brands? How
something.
much do you care
Let
about
me tell you
these
something.
brands?
Yeah,
How much do you care about
agree,
this
That's another
quality?
angle.
agree.
That's
Wait,
another
now, wait. Let me
angle.
speak. Let me
Because
speak. Wait,
it's
let me
a
speak.
sneaky way
Let me
to be
speak. Let me
classist.
Yes,
speak.
mommy.
Agreed that.
Yeah.
Agreed that 100%, or well, not 100%, maybe 80% of people who carry the original don't really care about the brand. Maybe just the brand name. You can say that. Do you understand?
80% of what?
Of the people who carry
They don't
original,
necessarily care
they
about
don't
the
really care
brand.
about the brand
It's
name.
what you said.
But me, let me use myself as an example.
Yes.
I care for quality.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I like things that last.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm carrying an original bag, I know that I can use this every day because it would last.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my bags have warranties on them. Do you understand? Because I know that if I'm spending bank on this bag, I know that if I walk into the store and tell them that
Big C is
no, I'm just
talking.
wait, I'm not joking. And I tell them that okay, this happened to my bag. They can fix that for me,
Period.
and they can look it up and say, okay, cool. This you bought this here, it's verified. This is the issue with your bag, and they might even give me a new one. That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's the community. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand
So
what
there are
you're saying.
privileges that come with having the
Yeah.
original things. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So my issue.
And even if you don't buy from the same country.
My issue with these things, this fake thing, because I think I've spoken about it one time on one of my social media platforms. My issues with these things is, if you want to buy a fake, can you own up to the fact that this is a fake bag?
That's taking away the essence of buying fake now.
Why do you now have to lie and say this is the original bag? I bought this. Why do you have to do that? It's the fake. Do you understand? Own up. Why can't you own up to it?
No. Stop
What's
right
the
there.
issue? Like, John,
Why do you
that's the
just
problem.
stop?
That's the problem that I have, because you know that you cannot walk into these high-end stores with those fake bags. They will send you out. If you walk into a Louis Vuitton store with a fake Louis Vuitton bag, and one of the SS detective, they will send you out, or they'll call security, and that's embarrassing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, if you want to buy a fake bag, buy your fake bag, buy your fake anything you want to buy. But would you own up to it if somebody asked you, please,
still
is this
feel
bag, I like this bag, where did you get it from? Would you say, I got it from Dior? Or would you say, oh no, it's a dupe?
But obviously,
That's
the whole
the
point
problem
of
that I
buying
have.
dupes the essence of buying dupes is to fit in. So how are you going to fit in by telling everybody that it's a fake? And that's another that
Is that the
again,
sole reason though?
I feel like if you, like I said, if you just like the style, the shape of a Chanel bag, the shape of a Dior bag, you can find a brand that is similar, that makes similar looking bags. But the fact that you want that exact bag that has that name on it, Dior, CD, that has the Chanel 2Cs, there's a reason. And it's, you want to be part of that community. Like you said, it's a community. You want to be a part of that community. And it brings me on to this line of discussion that you're actually, I don't necessarily blame people that opts for dupes, because there is a level of classism in Lagos, Nigeria.
Yeah.
I'm saying Lagos because obviously we live here and we experience it. There's a level of classism when you go out on the internet amongst friends, friendship groups. Like, there are things that we experience. So we convince ourselves that we need to carry these things, we need to dress this way in order to be respected more. And I don't know if you have any experiences if you face big C, you face classism.
What do you mean? Like you
As
have
big
to,
as you are, people have been classes to you.
Not that. Like, I'm not talking about the other end. Do you understand? Obviously, you come up from big man car, you carrying big woman bag.
I can't relate, but
No, I'm just giving you like
Girl.
what's wrong with this girl?
I just love looking for trouble.
I'm just telling you, like, obviously, like you realize that you're getting special treatment. Come back to that same place in an Uber with your swing bag. Do you
Speaking
understand?
of
It'll be different though
places-
if you wait outside.
And
Wait,
so
speaking
I
of-
think some people who are with dupes might get treated better because they
carrying the
seem
dupe.
like they're with the
part
original.
in the in crowd. This place that she just mentioned. Do you want
Right.
to mention the name of the place?
Well,
The
it
place,
wasn't even an actual place.
It was,
I mean,
It's-
restaurants in Lagos are really generally restaurants in Lagos
yeah,
are
but
really
there's a
classist
hub, there's a
sometimes.
central, and I love
For
their food.
classism,
But you see that circa
is it?
in Lekki Phase
Oh
1.
my God, Circa!
In Lekki Phase 1.
Circa is so
Not
classist.
small circa. There's a cute small circa. Go there. The food
Genge.
is also good. But you see that
Drag
big one.
it.
The white,
that big
the
one?
white building.
That is
Yes.
white. That's on that Admiralty Road like that. If you're going, just like make sure you've picked the car, the shoe, where you're going to go, who's going to take you, because they hate women in that place. They, from management to chefs to bouncers, they hate women in that place, and it is absolutely ridiculous.
I can remember in 2019, I went there like for the first time, and that was the last time I went there.
Oh,
And
seriously?
yes, first
It's
and last,
worse.
'cause-
Don't bother.
Because me, once I get disrespected,
It's so much. It's
yes,
so bad.
Once I
It's so
get,
bad.
and I was a kid at that time, so I didn't really understand that this was classism. In my head, I was like, "Why are they being so mean? Please, I'm going." Because we were taking pictures, and they were like, "Oh, you're not allowed to take pictures." I'm like, "But I bought food. I bought a drink. Why
But
am
they
I
even
not
let you
allowed to?"
inside. See this big girl. they even let you inside.
But I was
So what happened?
confused. And they just kept, like, every now and then the security man will come and he'll be like, no, they don't do that one for you. I'm like, I don't understand. Am I in anybody's space? I'm just
It's
in
often
this-
empty. I wonder why.
And that's since 2019. I haven't gone there. Because once I get disrespected at a restaurant, I
As
just
you should.
up and leave.
Look
And
up.
that's how it should be.
So the first couple of times I went to Circa, I went as part of a party.
Yeah.
So it was like somebody's birthday, and maybe those times I would have a car and a driver, and then they even like the tiny parking space, they have the skinkity space like this. They have valet. They will rush your car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even like they will rush you. Let's park. Even if they're parking you outside, they'll just make sure that you're relaxed. Everything. So I went like with people, and their food was so good. The ambience was amazing. So I was like, I'm definitely going to come back here. I think that day I decided to Uber.
Was
Bear in
this
mind-
recently?
This was not. It's happened recently, but
This
like
year?
this was me. I'm the mugu. Like I keep trying.
I mean,
keep
I
trying.
just thought maybe that was 2019 and they would stop by now.
No, it's worse. It progressively got
Wow.
worse. So then I went there, but now I try because like it's convenience. They serve food late at night. A lot of restaurants close at like 9, 10. By 1 a.m. they'll still be making lamb chops. So like you'll be in Lekki like, okay, I just need good food right now. And you just realize, shit, I'm in an Uber. And they'll tell you at this empty restaurant, they'll tell you, do you have a reservation? And you'll be like, yeah, you do. And then they will check the imaginary list. I shit you not. They will check an imaginary list. I think the back of a receipt and be like, what's your name? We don't see your name on the reservation. And I'm just there like, this cannot be happening. You can come
This is
back.
why people buy dupes. This is why people live fake.
Fake. This is why people live fake. This is why their own is like cars.
So you're saying buying fake saves you the money to buy
buying
opportunity.
fake, living fake life just sets you.
It's like a way, it's like a ticket. It's like, please, I don't want to go through this. I'm just going to play the game. Right? And if I don't have the funds to play the game right now,
So
I'm going to buy the fake.
oh my god,
That's
so
basically how it looks like
what
to
you
me.
just said now,
Yeah.
it reminded me of something that was happening on TikTok. There was this TikTok drama that was happening, and this girl was like explaining to her followers that, you know, girls go through a lot of shit. Girls especially, boys and girls, but girls especially go through a lot of shit in Nigerian establishments. They put, all of a sudden, they'll just come to your table when they see it's just girls. You minimum spend 50K, minimum, you cannot wear this, you cannot wear that. They treat girls differently. And other girls were defending it, like, it's fine. Restaurants outside the country also have rules and regulations, blah, blah, blah. And this girl was saying, no, it's majorly a Nigerian thing, it's a classist thing, and it's a sexist thing that many establishments do. And I thought about it, and I'm like, the girls that are defending this kind of behavior, they're just playing into respectability politics. And that is the situation whereby, like,
Wait,
because
defending what kind of behavior?
defending the restaurants that basically, like, discriminates girls. So, for example, this restaurant that I don't want to give any more publicity to is a diner, actually. This diner came out and made a dress code of, they might as well put blazers there. They said this is what they expect girls to wear when they enter their diner. A diner where people...
So did you see this Twitter post that said, in relation to what you said, what you're saying, this Twitter post that said that he understands why most of these restaurants make people dress certain ways, because dressing a certain way kind of chases away the customers that
I get
actually
what you're
come
saying.
in to
I get what
buy
you're
the
saying,
food
but
and
that's
the
not
drinks.
what I'm talking about. So what I'm talking about is girls that play into respectability politics, in the sense that some restaurants just overdo it. We get it. So a lot of people are mannerless. They wear bralettes to go and eat breakfast, where there will be kids and families. There are things that people do that are just inappropriate. But at the same time, there are lots of girls, more or less they're pick-me's. And because their natural style is to wear blazer and the skirts that reaches their ankles, and because they're fortunate enough to have car and driver, and they don't really face discrimination, they kind of now discriminate girls who end up facing it. For example, right? Let's say I'm the kind of girl that is always wearing, my skirts are a bit shorter, my heels are a bit higher, my nails are a bit longer, I'm a bit controversial. But you, on the other hand, are...
On the other end.
You're on the other end, you're on the far end. And I'm here complaining that, I go through so much because, restaurants, they're always kicking me out, places are mean to me. And you're telling me, well, it's because of the way you're dressed. Like,
it seems very insensitive.
It seems very, there's a point to what you're saying, fair enough, but it feels very insensitive because one day, this discrimination will still reach you. Do you get what I'm saying?
Because everything could be turned.
It could be turned. My favorite phrase with establishments and industries, that they keep changing the goalpost, especially when it comes to women. One day, the standard is be a woman of virtue, cover yourself.
But I have a question though. Like since we're like talking about like
Wait,
restaurants and things that happens like restaurants, what's your idea of like an ideal luxurious dinner?
Restaurant. But do you know something I wanted to add on to what she said? Do you know that there are clubs that don't let you in if you're not wearing heels?
Yes.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't tell you that's why they didn't let you in.
They will.
No, they
will
will
tell you.
They will tell you.
Some of them will tell you.
Yeah, they
No,
will tell you.
all of them will tell you. And what are you wearing? But
Yeah,
it's
they'll
like,
tell you.
I feel like that's part of what's being mannerless. Why would you wear? Maybe you know the owner and you can
Right.
get away with it. But why would you wear slippers? Even sneakers is better if you're going for the look, whatever look you're going for. But why would you wear slippers
To the club.
to the club? That's not like. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same way. Like, excuse me. Why would you wear bralettes? Like, when I'm saying bralette, I'm not talking about a crop top. I'm talking about a bralette, something that is a bit provocative, something that families might not just necessarily want their children to see. Like Sunday morning brunch. Like, come on, you to respect yourself, but at the same time, restaurants do take the piss, especially when they have standards that they themselves do not even meet.
Yeah.
They're complaining
Yeah,
about
so-
your quality of your food, the service, and you're here telling girls to wear jumpsuits and blazers to enter your diner.
To answer what you
So,
said.
but yeah, back to like the question, like, what's your idea of an ideal luxurious dinner or breakfast? Like, what's the maximum you spent on like
I feel
dinner
like
in Lagos?
I
Like,
don't really look at bills. I just
Lydia, I beg.
I feel
I
like
beg.
an ideal restaurant to me
Mm-hmm.
is something that suits what I'm currently looking for at that time. Some restaurants care more for ambiance, and some care more for privacy. So most of the time, I go for restaurants that feel very private. So that I don't like feeling like I'm in a show glass and everybody can just come to me, and it's like too open. So for me, that's luxurious. For me, that's calm. It works for me. But it can't be the same for everybody. If the basis for a luxurious restaurant is paying a high amount, then there's a lot of luxurious restaurants in Lagos that don't feel luxurious because you're paying a high amount, but you're getting terrible service.
So what I'm understanding from this is luxury means privacy.
No, because that's my own
Luxury
need.
to you
Yes.
means privacy.
But like besides privacy, if your food is not good, it doesn't feel luxurious. So that's a key element to any
Privacy and
restaurant.
taste.
Like if the food doesn't taste good, what's the point? It's a restaurant for a reason. Yeah. So,
Lydia, what's the maximum you spent on like how much have you spent on a dinner date? Classify
do
it that
you
you
pay
classify
for
it
your
as
dinner
luxury.
date?
let's start.
Oh
there.
my
you
God.
get it? Like, I was like,
the
Like, I should pick up the bill
ultimate.
and pay. Can't be for real.
okay, so
Wait, I don't understand. So you don't go for self-dates, dinners and stuff?
Caramel, please.
Lydia, are you
Caramel,
okay?
please.
What do you think this is?
Guys, please, I'm joking. I pay for my things. I'm not that cute.
talking about living above your means.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about living? Because now we're talking about how restaurants put these expectations out there for people to be a certain way. And it's not just restaurants, it's Lagos living in general. how do you feel about living above your means? Does it make you dumb? Does it make you? Are you?
Can
stupid
you
for
give an
living above?
example of living above your means? First
I
of all.
mean, living above your means can be a lot of things for different people. So an example would be, let's say you can't afford this life that you want to get now. Maybe like you want to get a car, you can't afford it. Maybe you want to get this apartment, you can't afford it. Maybe you want to get this hair, wig, you can't afford it. Maybe you want to get this furniture, you can't afford it. So living above your means is just getting things you can't afford. Like you said one time, it's like if you can't pay for it twice, you can't afford it.
That's me. That's my own definition.
That's what I'm saying. Like you said that, and I'm saying, like,
okay.
do you think that living above your means, with the state of how, like, where we are living is?
I need to get a clear example of what you mean by living above your means. No, do you know what I'm saying? That
It's doing past yourself. When you're doing past yourself.
Okay, now it makes sense. No, because I wanted you to clarify that, because to some people, living above your means could be, okay, you have a house, but you want to go and lodge in a hotel. Do you understand?
Right.
That's doing past yourself.
Yeah, it's still living above your means.
That's that's what I'm saying. So it's like, okay, this is the definition of living above your. It could also mean that you don't have a place to live, yeah, but any money that comes into your account, you're going to go and buy a wig.
It's true.
Do you understand?
It's the
so
same thing.
If it kind of varies. No, it's different, because like for the first example I gave was, you have a house, but you've chosen to go and live, like stay in a hotel.
Living above your means is simply anything that will put you in
discomfort or in debt.
That doesn't align with your income.
It's not a smart decision. Doesn't align with your income.
It doesn't align with your income.
You can be comfortable.
So even if it's a big expense or a small expense, if it doesn't align with your income, you're living above your means. Even if it makes sense or it doesn't make sense to the next person.
Everybody is doing how?
Yeah, I feel like
everybody's living
above my means every now and then. But like, that's why I was asking you, how do you feel about
everybody's
it?
doing that?
It just depends. It's like how you look at it. To me, I feel like once in a while, the fact that I have lived above my means at certain times in my life has acted as a catalyst to me catering for more in my life. Because if I never experienced what this fine dining was like, maybe I wouldn't have been inspired to just work harder and like make sure I can go to more fancy restaurants in the future. It's like, let me get a taste of it now that I can't afford it, and next thing I'm motivated to make sure that I can afford it. That's why I like the idea of living, but not as a routine. But every now and then, yes, I dabble.
When you live above your means as a routine,
yes,
you are ruining your life.
Yes.
You are putting yourself in debt.
So it's when it's a routine that it becomes harmful.
100%.
That's
I almost
basically
said debt. I almost said you're in department.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself in department.
Yeah.
That you're putting yourself in bad situations, because it often ends up with you taking loans, borrowing money. That is like high extreme cases. But in most cases, just making dumb decisions, like you said, they give you.
But what would you guys like? What's your take on living this fake life, like packaging? Because
do you feel like you live above your means once in a while?
I actually don't feel like I try. I feel like I used to.
In the building.
No. I feel like I used to, but I learned to pace myself. Do you understand?
I like that.
So
I learned to
go outside
pace myself. Yes.
Comfort
At the
zone
end,
with
what I
your
do is, for every month I have a budget spending. I try to.
It's not easy.
Live within that. Do you understand? This is how much I'm spending. I'll spend on food. I want to stock my house. I want to make sure that I'm spending this on transport. I want to make sure that at the end of the month, this is how much is in my account, in one account. Do you understand? So that's what I do. I try to pace myself. So that's why when you say things like everybody, I feel like
you don't.
Not everybody.
But you did
everybody
say
as practical as you are.
No, but wait.
That was before, when I didn't realize.
When you didn't realize it, don't you feel like the idea that you had experienced some things that you couldn't afford had inspired you to afford them?
Made me feel weird. Like, what am I? Because it was uncomfortable.
It's true.
Because it was uncomfortable now. It's like, bro, I'm spending this much money. There's nothing in my account. Why am I buying? It's uncomfortable.
Every time you did that, you didn't feel good.
Makes your heart beat fast.
Do you understand? It's like uncomfortable. And even before, it's uncomfortable. To me, that's what I'm saying to me. Because you can say, go out now, go and blow bank, pay one for this one. So you come back, you're thinking,
your head will just spin. You're not even sleep after your night.
We space for motivation.
But do you know what I endeavor to do every now and then? So like you said, not for a long time, but not recently either. I decided at some point that I'm going to pace myself. I'm going to save. Saving is so important, and I'm going to have a constant source of income. There's nothing like having a constant source of income, because even if you're spending 10, 20, 50K every day, you know that every day you're making it back. So you're more or less not losing any money. You're not making a lot of money, but you're not losing any money either. Anyway, that is like one advice out there. Another thing is pacing yourself. But another thing that I try to do as much as possible is spoil myself. So, like I said, most people, I have a budget monthly. But sometimes I just know that getting this bag or this watch or this, it might not even be a luxury item, might be this dinner, might be this spa day, this ridiculously expensive hair treatment. I just know it's just going to make me feel so good. And I'm just going to close my eyes, say YOLO, look the other way and just do it. But if I do it continuously, that's me being a mugu. And
so when do you call when do you say someone is just a spendthrift? When do you say you're just buying things?
Before I touch on that, I like how you said spoil myself. See that spoil myself thing? It kind of like also like when I was living above my means. Do you understand? Because you say, "Oh, don't spoil myself." What I changed that to was rewarding myself.
Right.
I will reward myself.
Tit for tat.
Do you understand?
Right.
So if I feel like, okay, I have achieved something this month, I want to reward myself. I want to get this.
So you have a budget for rewards?
Yes. Not budget for rewards.
Sometimes you have to take
not
it out of
rewards.
your...
It's not a budget for... You can't really have budget for rewards now. Rewarding myself is maybe that month I have done something or I worked hard or I achieved something or I got maybe a bag. Do you understand? Not a handbag, but like a bag, like, I secured a deal, I made money, that kind of thing. Like, yes, I did this. I want to reward myself for doing this.
Oh, I
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that's what I changed that to.
That's a better approach other than like just once in a while.
When you do it every day, it's you're recklessly living. You're being reckless.
Yeah, you were saying something about something.
I mean, like, when do you say someone is a spendthrift?
When, to me, genuinely, I will not say understand. Maybe it's just because you have money in surplus. When you buy one thing in all the colors.
Oh my God, yes, that's so weird.
When you buy one shoe in all the colors, that's the one I don't understand.
I feel like I might be the type of person to do that.
When the money comes, I'll know the kind of person I am.
There's no defining factor on how you spend money. It's just if you are aligning it with your income, you'll be alright. Yeah.
But that's spending thrifting. That's to me, that's what it is like when you are
retail therapy.
I don't always understand it. It's like the same exact bag, but in pink, red, yellow, blue, green.
I do think that it really matters. Your income really matters because if you have the money, it's not.
A lot of things
really
matter.
matter.
Yeah, can't lie.
Yeah, but other than that,
sorry to cut you short, my dear. Speaking of money, how do you guys feel about the rich?
The rich?
The rich and highly connected. The nepotism
I want to
babies.
be friends.
The industry babies. How do you feel?
I want to be friends. I want to be friends.
So you don't feel like do you feel like people are secretly jealous of nepotism?
Of course.
I am secretly jealous of nepo babies.
Davido in nepotism.
I realized
Can you use Davido as an example?
Yeah, he is a nepo.
Yes.
And I received a lot of backlash for that because, for example, his former rival, Wiz Kid from Ojueleba, he was the famous grass to grace story.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of sentiments and all of that. So people really connected to him. And when they would, you know how people do want to put the two of them side by side, one of the things they would say is, well, this guy could afford the studio time. This guy could afford to study XYZ. This guy had the connections to get where he is. And he would fight back and his people would fight back and say, he's just struggled because there are people that are as connected as he is.
One thing I've realized about Nigerians especially, and I don't know if this happens all over the world, but Nigerians have this mentality of before we appreciate your effort, we must see the work and we must see that you have suffered.
Suffer mentality.
And you have gone through it and you have
That's the only way we'll appreciate.
That's the only way we'll appreciate you. If you had it easy, no, you haven't landed.
It's because then they don't see themselves in you.
One thing about Nigerians and one thing about people living in poverty is that they love to live vicariously through other people. So when they see this grass to grace story, when they see this kid from trenches making it,
they're motivated.
They're not only motivated, they're connected. Like they feel them.
I feel like another reason why they do that is because people are secretly tired of... It's not just the jealousy of nepotism babies, but they are secretly tired... Not secretly, it's even open. People are tired of the rich having it easy. They're tired of working hard and then seeing someone who is rich just get it overnight.
It's very
discouraging. It hurts. It burns because it's like a lot of us wanted to study like. Well, maybe not you guys, maybe not me, but I know there's a lot of people that wanted to study certain courses in school, that wanted to achieve certain
universities,
goals,
get certain jobs.
And they overqualify, and someone's son who is close to the
life,
VC,
and I saw,
gets it. So it's triggering for a lot of people because it's classism.
I mean, baby, money makes the world go real.
Yeah, but that sucks.
But then that's what I'm saying. Is it really jealousy or is people just being tired of a system that oppresses them?
It's tired of.
I think it's both.
I feel like you're just being tired of an oppressive system. Because things that we grow up, we're in school and they teach us that education, teach us that the workforce is meritocratic, but it's simply not. Meaning that your merits don't count as much as they try to make you believe. You think that if you study so hard, you think that if you pull the late nights, but it's simply never going to be enough. And do you know how limiting and restricting and sad that is? Discouraging. Do you know what it feels like to be put in a box and with all your efforts, you're doing the best you can, you're doing the better than everybody around you, you're simply not meeting up. Why? Because you do not...
Can I be honest? I feel like it's partly why I never tried to get a first class throughout my university years. I never made the effort to get... There was never a time in my head I was like, oh my God, I'm going to try and get first class. What I wanted to do is just graduate and get going. Because I knew that whether or not I get it, like when I look at my background, I'm not really going to get much out of this anyways. Yeah. And it's discouraging. I'm not saying that I shouldn't have been more positive about it and just... But one thing about me is like, if I see something for what it is, I just take it as I see it.
Exactly. Realistic.
Yeah, and I was like, the reality is these jobs are going to be reserved for someone's son or daughter in the system.
And it's sorry to break your heart.
Is that always the case?
Most of the
usually
time.
the case.
Why do you think,
like 8 times out of 10. And those two, one of them probably even had to do something to get it.
Well, let me say something. So, you know when you see a Nobel Prize winner, an acclaimed author coming from Nigeria, coming from Africa, Grammy winner, coming from Africa, coming from Nigeria, being black, being a woman, and they're celebrating them, they're going crazy. And like everybody's like, but people have been winning Grammys since. But do you know what it is to come from a disadvantaged background, a limiting, restricting background, and still meet up with people who have had things, have easy access to things? This is a cause for, like, this is why we celebrate them a little bit more. That's why we forever celebrate, for example, Hilda. Right?
It's based on merit.
Yeah, it's based. We're going to celebrate women for achievements that men or other people could achieve because society has set us a couple of steps back. You know? So for us to meet up, we're going the extra mile. When I see women in offices, when I see women running things, I don't look at them casual. I fully salute them because you're changing the narrative. Oh, babe.
Yeah, I feel you.
You're changing the narrative. And you're doing it for all of us, the rest of us, because unlike you...
inspires other women too.
I was optimistic growing up.
Yeah.
I was optimistic thinking, okay, if I worked hard enough, if I put myself in the right place, respectability, politics, everything, if I just tried my best, I will meet up. But I simply didn't because it was just never the case. In different situations, socially, in my education, in my work life, it was just like all the things that I wanted to achieve, all the ideas that I had so many. I just saw people do it with ease. And I'm like, damn. So it makes you want to step back a little bit, but at the same time, it makes you want to... I feel like I've pulled my strengths out of that because at the same time, I'm not as fortunate as these people. Too, but I am more resilient than them. And also, there are things that fortune does not let you see. There are things that, as circumstance, they make crayfish bend. So in that bending process, in going through your circumstances and your situations, you build... It's not a joke. Character development is not a joke.
Today, Lydia wore her wisdom cap. She said, let me go collect my cap before I come. So even if you want to drag, they say, I'm ready. I'm standing giddy.
I'm speaking,
I feel that 100%. 100%.
So I wanna ask a question, yeah?
Maliya,
so nervous.
Every time Maliya does this,
I get so nervous. Like, what, mommy?
Gosh.
I feel that.
Yes.
I didn't know. I want to ask a question.
She said, Lydia, I want to ask you. Okay.
I want to ask a question. Do you feel like Copy gets hated because she is from a rich family? Or because she triggers people?
Jollof on the Jet Copy? Or a different Copy?
Pink hair... DJ Copy.
You, Lydia, don't worry.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Just wait. Just wait.
But like, I want us to talk about it as a case study because I feel like she's one of the most hated, like, Nepo
People
babies.
hate her because of her hair. Her hair is just so
Do you know
nice.
what?
That's
Do you
my
know-
opinion.
do you- let me-
Davido is hated, but not as much as
let me
Copy.
tell you why I
The
think.
hate I see
Let
Copy
me
receive
tell
is
you
insane.
why I think people hate Copy.
Why do you think people hate Copy?
There's an expectation Nigerians have
About wealthy people.
about wealthy
What's the
people.
expectation?
If you're wealthy,
They
you're
expect you
supposed
to
to
be
act
old money
like.
vibes.
Do you understand?
Look a certain
Come
way.
and look a certain way, do certain things. Don't be.
I just don't get her
XYZ.
hair, baby girl. I don't get the hair.
that's the expectations Nigerians have of wealthy
Of-
Me
people.
too, I have that
Do you
expectation.
understand? Copy.
Go on,
See,
buy,
if you
go,
look,
go,
Lydia,
go.
wait. If you look, you realize that Copy has a lot of friends who are not Nigerians because you realize that. Well, I don't know if they're white, but like people who have not grown up in Nigeria can resonate with her more. Because they don't have that mindset that Nigerians have for a wealthy person. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I think it's no.
For
I
you-
I,
for you-
I have to
wait.
tell you, I don't think that's what it is. I think they probably
do
don't even know
think
it's
that's
Copy.
what-
They probably don't even know it's
I
Copy.
feel
We know
like- I feel
Copy.
like
No,
Rich
they
people
just
just
some of
tend
them
to
our
are
some
own.
of
She's
them-
our own wealthy
Wait
baby.
now.
They
Some
probably
of
don't
them
know.
They're probably
What
as
do you
wealthy
mean?
as her, so they don't know.
Yeah, they probably don't know.
So yes, obviously you find out that this is Copy and you find out that her father is rich. You will know at some point. Do you understand? There's no
Fair.
two ways about it. You will know. At some point she has invited you to her penthouse. You will see it for yourself. Yes, true now. You know that okay, this one is a rich person. Even if you
She's
see
one of us.
your dad is rich, that kind of thing. Do you understand? So that's what I'm
mean,
saying.
the
There's
rich
the
people hang out with
expectation
poor
there.
people.
So that's why like whenever sometimes she'll post some things
good question.
and people will be bashing like the weirdest stuff. Oh, change your stylist. Oh, change your
Is
change
it
your
really
this.
weird?
Change your,
Is it really weird? Though that's what I'm telling you. Is
But
that weird?
But the thing is,
no, it's not about even being
but the
rich. It's
thing is,
about being a public figure. Why are you looking like that?
persona?
A persona
Now,
is tacky.
now you're saying wait now.
Maybe I'm not the one to have this conversation.
No,
Baby, I love
no,
you.
to you, it's like tacky. To you, is like you're not supposed to be like. To you, is a celebrity expectation. To her, she's just living her life. She's just living her life. She doesn't even care. She just wants to be. She just wants to be a normal human being,
Okay,
a normal
so
person.
I'll be honest with
Do you
you.
understand what I'm saying?
See, I can't like, even
Another
if I
thing-
saw a normal girl on the streets wearing synthetic rough hair and clothes that looked too tight for you, I would say that's tacky. Talk less of a billionaire's daughter that is a public figure. You've put yourself out there for public opinions and all of
Lydia,
that.
your point is really valid, honestly.
So
'Cause
that's
you
why
you will be
that's why I'm
treated
able-
according to how you look.
Come on,
You know,
go on.
especially if the
Call a
expectations for
stylist.
where you
But
come
you
from
can't
is
say,
a
Oh,
lot.
baby, I
Copy-
love you. That's the thing. I actually love her. Like,
no, they will drag you by your leg, your the back of your leg. That's
But wait. As long as we're talking about these things, like her hair, her the way she dresses, but let's also acknowledge the fact that she is so hardworking. She just obtained 1 degree,
100%.
and then she's a DJ. And even when I'm in Dubai, she's always there.
She's
like
inspiring,
She's
yes.
a hardworking babe. There are things to
I like that she's
admire.
resilient.
But
Even
that
when
hair-
people try to shame her about like the way she
to
wants to
go.
live her life, and I feel people use this when they want to shame her, they always bring up her sister. Like try to come. I read the comments. It's crazy. Like
You read
You
the
read
comments.
I read comments. Yes,
I don't read
I hate
comments.
comments.
I read
Anything
comments a
comments.
lot because that's how I start understanding how the people feel. I don't just
Do you think
assume.
she reads her own
I read-
comments?
I mean, she doesn't have to, but I'm reading people's comments. I'm
I
reading
feel
my
like
comments.
I feel like maybe she used to.
I
and
don't.
then stop.
I rarely even check likes. I just read comments. Like that's what I do.
Really?
That's my own habit.
Do you know, I don't read comments. I hate comments because like people,
I don't even want to know
people,
what
a
you're
lot of people
thinking.
are not genuine when they comment. A lot of people's comment
Mm-hmm.
is what's the word?
I think
It's based off of another person's comments, not because
not
of
yeah.
not
sometimes
them.
people
Yeah.
just try
They're
to
just
follow
following
the
the
hot
bandwagon.
trend.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that thing at one time
Yeah.
about Twitter people how they always try to do that. Yeah,
Ship mentality.
yeah. But there's another thing again. I feel like sometimes if you're rich and you try to relate to people who aren't, they don't. The effect that happens is they start hating you. I don't know if you've noticed it. Like, if you're rich and they see you buy a bacha, they'll be angry with you. They'll be like, stop, leave me alone. Don't try to relate to me. So I think sometimes a lot of Nepo
poverty.
babies... Yeah, I feel like sometimes a lot of Nepo babies, they might not know that them, like, associating
So
with...
you ahead now.
Yeah,
now
yeah,
you're
them-
saying that. Now you're saying that. Yeah. Now imagine a circle of women and everything. Yeah, like women who are like bougies are like high class.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Arab wives or whatever,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. You're now in the corner with your fig back. Come to me them. Oh hi, what's going on? No. Wait now. Let me land. Let me land. How do you think they'll perceive you?
I mean, like, if they know my bag is fake, they're already thinking, like, I'm pretentious. I'm not one of them, and I'm trying to
Good.
fake
That's
it.
my thing with dupes. That's my thing
it's
with
kind of like the
dupes,
same thing.
pretentious.
Yeah, with
It's the
poverty
same
too.
with poverty
yes.
too. It's the same thing.
You remember this video where Bella Hadid was like, I got my first designer bag. Like, people were so triggered because they were like, babes, you could have always afforded a designer bag. You don't get relatable when you call out certain, like if you come out and try to
It's
make
a forced
it look-
humility.
Yes, we
It's
don't.
a
People
forced
don't like that.
humility.
I wish a lot of them know, because I feel like they don't know.
They try to force it. It's like during NSARS when all the girls like were
I
they were
think
protesting
it
in
always
front of
rubs
their
off a
gates. They were
very
protesting in
different
front
way.
of their compounds, like let my people go type of thing. But like,
Wahaler.
but it's just-
Bro, this topic, oh my gosh, this luxury. I feel like to everyone, luxury is 100% defined and relative. For example, to me, it's comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
To Maliya, it's privacy and taste. To Lydia,
it's expensive. Like
it's expensive. You know, like luxury, it depends on how you define luxury.
Yeah.
And obviously, people are coming from different backgrounds and forever live different lives, and accomplishments will be different. And Max, at the end of the
I
day,
have a question. Do you feel like the word luxury has been misused?
Oh, well, everyone
because it's
feels that way at
subjective, we
this
can't
point.
necessarily say yes or no to that.
Mm-hmm.
That is my take on that. I just want to encourage people as we round up to just keep aspiring. You know, be what you want to be. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Lydia would lead you astray.
Oh,
Anyways.
Sorry, what I would like to add on to, as we're leaving, what I would like to add on to everything everyone has said is, I feel like people really need to stop this idea of, I don't like nepotism babies, especially if you're planning to become wealthy someday and pass on your wealth to your children. Like this envy we have for them, we have to like look inward and ask ourselves, did they not work hard, or I just hate that they had the access that they have as well? Sometimes their efforts are valid. They actually do put the effort.
And
but
they're
we still
real
hate
human
them.
beings.
Yes, but we still hate them just because of the idea that they have access. Meanwhile, we're working hard to give our children the exact same life that they have. So it's contradicting, and it's something we have to look at as a society, as inward. Because I used to feel a bit jealous, and I started asking myself, am I not working hard so that my own babies will be Nepo babies? Like, I can't keep acting like I hate them, or like I don't understand the idea of someone enjoying their parents' wealth. Because that's what it's meant to be. So yeah, I feel like we should, as a society, step back a bit and look
I'm
inward.
never going to I'm going to nod my head and I'm going to understand what you're saying.
I mean, it's okay to
but
be
at
jealous.
the same time,
it's what you do.
Yeah, jealousy is a normal feeling. That's standard.
It's what you do.
But at the same time, I feel like Nepo babies are fine. It's the ones that I know of. I don't really care for them because all of their fathers are thieves. And like, I'm not going to come and tell you that, at this point, it's not only jealousy, it's like a bit of hatred, because we live in like one of the world's poverty capitals, and you're telling me, get over your jealousy. It's not my fault. My father is rich. No, but your father is a criminal, and
that is valid.
Yeah,
that is valid.
Yeah. Anyways, if we continue this topic, we're going to
Lydia
sleep here.
Going to sleep here.
We're going to sleep here. So I'm just leaving you guys with the fact that I'm just leaving you guys with this one advice. Try not to live above your means. Pace yourself. It is very important.
Reward yourself instead.
Reward yourself as well, especially if you're a growing young girl like ourselves, and
a growing young man,
or a growing young man. And I also like to remind us that this podcast is available on every streaming platform: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere you can think of. With that being said, I go by the name Caramel. This is Lydia still.
Maliya.
And this is Maliya.
Oh,
and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Mwah.